Hello everybody. Today I'm gonna look into stroke-based rendering using AI. So stroke-based rendering means that you take a picture and you basically paint using a empty canvas, and you try to reproduce the image using brush strokes. Very simple. So let's Google learning to paint and Google Colab. Let's see what we're getting. Okay, so this is the first result and it's the right one. Okay, so I use Google Colab because with Google Colab you don't need a fancy computer with a GPU card, and you also don't need to install anything on your machine, so it's extremely convenient. The only issue is that you're kind of limited in terms of resources. I don't think you can run for more than 12 minutes, so you cannot really run very intensive processes with Google Colab, but it's free, so can't complain too much. Okay, so actually they show the basic idea. So for instance, here you start with the target image, which is the Mona Lisa, and what the program does is that it starts from an empty canvas, and it applies brush strokes sequentially until the number of brush strokes that was inputted is reached. So I think what they do is, what's interesting about it is that the number of brush strokes that's used is quite low. Like for this, maybe I don't know, maybe 200 they use. 200 brush strokes. I mean, I've done a lot of this kind of stuff, but without using the AI, the brush stroke rendering, and usually you need a lot more brush strokes to get a good result. But also it depends on the size of the image. So, but I mean, you can do this without AI, that's for sure. But here they're using AI, so we're gonna look into how they're doing it. Okay, so we're just gonna use. Let me get rid of this on the left, and I just want to see the file. I got to sign in also. Yeah, that would help. So I'll be right back. Okay, I am signed in. Okay, I am signed in. So if you want to have a look at the paper, this is the paper. So they are using reinforcement learning. And reinforcement learning, that's what is used to do like self-driving cars. What else can you do? What else can you do? You can do like playing chess, playing Go, playing Atari games, all that kind of good stuff with reinforcement learning. So the paper is pretty intense, so I'm not gonna go through it, but you have to know that the goal of the paper is to, given a target image like here, they start with an empty canvas, they apply the brush strokes, and they use like 200 brush strokes, 400, 1000, depending on probably on the size of the image and the type of the image. And what they want is to get a rendered image that looks quite like the input image. Of course, sometimes the goal is not to reproduce the image, the target image exactly. Sometimes you just want to have the brush strokes showing, or you want to be quite abstract. So I think you have their goal and your goal might be different, so you have to take that into account. So let's go back to the okay, so what I'm gonna do first, you have to make sure you're running GPU, which is correct, and let's just run everything. So run all. Let's see what happens. Usually it works, but sometimes it doesn't. So okay, so let's see what it's doing. Okay. Okay, so he's here. So he's waiting for you to upload an image. So should I use an image? I think I'm gonna start maybe. Okay, let me use my own image. I'm not going to use any of their images because their images are here, learning to paint, and their test images are here. So they have a bunch, but they're probably very small. They're probably very small. They're probably 128 by 128. Oh, Trump. Okay, no. So I'm gonna go on to Pixabay and get some images, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So I went to Pixabay and got a picture, which is not very big. I think it's 2 megapixels. And let's see what happens. So choose files. This one. And let's see if it's complaining. So here it's running. And here you have a few parameters, like a max step 80 and a divide equal 5. I think I know what divide equal 5 is. I'm not completely sure about the 80. Okay, I think I know what it is. Okay, but let's run this for now. So the image, let's be clear. So it's 1280 by 853. So it's about, I don't know, 1.5 megapixel. Yeah. Okay, so it's done. So I'm gonna allow the download and see what. Okay, so let's go down, convert to video, fine, and watch the video generated. Okay, so let's watch the video. Okay, so it shows the brush strokes being applied. Okay, so as you can see, this is not really the result I want. I don't want my rendered image to be exactly like or very close to the input image. Let's make it a bit bigger here. So I'm gonna use 512, and you just max duration 100. Let's double it and see what happens, because it seems to be speeding up at the end. Okay, so let's just run this. Okay, and here you can see the brush strokes being applied. So here I think he's using like a Bezier curve brush strokes. So they are not straight, they are not circles, they are Bezier curves. And so it it can when he puts the brush stroke onto the canvas, he can adjust the opacity. You can see that in the video. Let me increase the duration maybe, and we run it. So you can see the brush strokes being applied. At some point it speeds up, I don't know why. Okay, so that's what you get. Watch the final picture. Oh, very cool. Okay, so it must have been downloaded as well. So let's look into download. Okay, so you got that, the output generated 399, and you also got the video. That's pretty cool. Let's look at the video quick. Okay, so it's the same video that we're seeing in the browser. Very good. Okay, so actually it's pretty cool, I gotta say. Okay, so let me try to explain the parameters, because I think I understand. The number of strokes, the brush strokes, how many brush strokes are you gonna get? It's very simple. It's this number, 80 times 5, 400. So here is using a total of 400 brush strokes. So it's the max step times the divide. So the divide, what that means is that what's called an agent, the painting agent, can do 5 brush strokes in a row without getting the what's called a reward in reinforcement learning. So it basically, the higher the number on the divide, the faster it's gonna be. I mean, you can try divide equal 1, but then you, okay, so if you do divide equal, let's say, you can do divide equal 1, and then you would have to hike up the number over there to 400 to get a similar result in terms of number of brush strokes. What I want to do is reduce the number of brush strokes. So if you put, let's do like let's do 40 here times 5, that's 200 brush strokes. And I'm gonna restart from here. Oh, so yes, so before I run this cell, I have to change something else. You have to change the name of the last generated image. So let's see here, generated 399, because it's 399 because it's 400 brush strokes. So if I only do 200 brush strokes, I need to put 199. Same thing here, 199. So now that should work. So let me go back. So what you can do, you can run from here, run cell, and then you do a runtime run after, or you could just rerun the whole thing. I mean, you can just do a run all. It doesn't make it much difference. So let's do a run all. Okay, so it's here. So let's put the target, same. So 40 times 5, that's, I think, 200. So of course the output should be coarser than the one from before. I think I'm going to use GIMP to show the difference. I think that might be interesting to look at. I'm just loading up GIMP, I'll use it later. Okay, so it's pretty much done. Okay, so that's the vid that shows the brush strokes. Okay, and that's the generated image. Not bad. Okay, so let's reduce the number of strokes even more. Let's do So here it's 200, I'm gonna do 100. So max step 20 times 5. So I also have to change the generated. So here it should be 99 and here 99. So let's do runtime all. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that you can change the stroke pattern if you want. There's triangle, round, and Bezier without transformation. The default, I don't know, I think it must be this one. So you can try, but it doesn't make that much difference, I think. Okay, so let's see. He's still doing the strokes. Oh, hold on, he's waiting for me. Yes, so here. Okay. So yeah, I have GIMP here and I'm gonna load. Okay, so this is the 400 brush strokes. Let's load the 200 brush strokes. Oh yeah, it's just finished the other one. So this is 200 brush strokes. And let's load the 100 brush strokes. Okay, so this is 100 brush strokes, 200, 400. So yeah, I mean the results are really good. What I would like to see, if like I've done some of that stuff. Like if you go on my website, 3dstereophoto.blogspot.com, and then painting software, and look at the painter. I've done like a stroke-based rendering, but the usual way, using like a grid. And this is the brush I use. This is the type of brush I use. So you can see it has a nice texture of a real brush, and I wish we could use that type of brush in that learning to paint Google Colab. And this is the result you get. You get some nice, let me get, and if you can even increase the effect by using the depth map or the bump map. So here you have that nice texture. That would be nice if that could be incorporated into that learning to paint stuff, in my opinion. Okay, so yeah, is finished. So I'm just gonna look at the video quick. Very nice, and you get the image, which I already showed it in GIMP. But yeah, I mean this is really good. I mean, to be able to get to this result with only 100 brush strokes is very good, because if I remember correctly, to get from this to this, it's much more than 100 brush strokes. It's got to be 1,000 at least. So yeah, kudos to those guys. Learning to paint, very excellent. Very excellent. And let me see, let me go back to the paper. So it's, oh yeah, congratulations then to Jewei Wang et al. For this very good job they did. Okay, so I think I'm gonna stop here. If you like this type of content, please like, comment, subscribe. it's gonna give me an incentive to create more videos like this. So I'll see you around. Bye.